I should be live. Fuck, God no. Oh, I am. Good. Thanks, YouTube. Hello, everybody, and welcome to That's Football. Hope you're all doing well. I actually nearly cancelled this, because I didn't know. I was trying to find it, and I was looking on the wrong channels to find it. So it is on UK TV. I was thinking, I'm going to watch Chelsea against Fulham on Thursday. I'm going to watch João Felix have his debut. And I was like, shit, is it actually on the TV? So Felix debut time. Let's go. We're live. Hope you're all doing well. Sponsored by OneFootball. You can download that for free. Links in the video description for that. We'll talk about that in a moment. But this is a big game. Fulham are flying high. And they're above Chelsea, so it's away from home as well. So big pressure on Chelsea. I've been a big advocate of giving time to Potter, and I still am. But I think if you were to lose a game like this today, lovely to see the applause for Vialli as well. Still gutted by that. If Chelsea were to lose today, they're currently in 10th with 25 points. Fulham are 3 points ahead of them in 7th place. So it's an enormous game for Chelsea. A win for them would obviously take them potentially above Fulham, and get them up into 7th place themselves. So big game for Chelsea. Huge opportunity for them. New manager in place. Can they get the results? So it's so hard to predict. It's so hard to predict. Therefore, I am going to predict, because I think you have to. And I'm going to say Willian against his old club as well. I am going to go with a win for Chelsea. Now, I'll get the stats carousel going round for you in a moment. So I'm going to go 2-0 to Chelsea here. But let's just get the start of this timer going. I hope that's not the camera angle. It's very high. Hi, Mark. How was Southampton versus Man City last night from a Saints fan? I didn't watch it, but I bet you loved it, mate. I went and watched... what did I watch? I was watching Yellowstone. Who are you supporting in the Cup, United or Forest? Luke, you should get a job as a comedian in the 1950s, because it's that older joke. Because somebody's born in a certain place, it doesn't mean they support that team. And it's a really crap joke, mate. It really is. I'm sure some idiots will laugh at it, but I think it's appalling, really. I'll tell you what's not appalling. Fantastic little app, OneFootball. You can download it through the link in the description, or you can scan the QR code on your camera phone. We're sponsored by OneFootball today. With so much football going on and during the season, you need a simple place to get all your latest football information, latest breaking transfer news, stats, and OneFootball's the place to get that. Follow your favourite teams and players, stay up to date with the latest football news, transfers, and of course keep across all the goals, team lineup, stats, and player ratings. Then you need just OneFootball. It's free to download. Links in the description. What you're waiting for, download it. Available on all platforms for free. Scan the QR code or download it, link in the description. And as usual, thank you very much to OneFootball for supporting the channel. Now, of course, you could get those lineups and may have already seen them on the OneFootball app, but I'm just going to go through the team news for you now. For those of you who haven't seen it, let's get the stats carousel started as well. Sponsored by OneFootball. The QR code is there. There's the league table for you as well. But the league table is not what we're talking about. We're talking about the teams here. Chelsea just passing the ball around the back at the moment. Leno, Tete, Tosun, Ream and Robinson. Palino, Reed, Cordova Reed, Pereira, Willian and Marais is playing. I don't know what the story is with Mitrovic tonight. If anybody does, please let me know. Is he injured? I expected him to play. That's how naive and how little interest I've took in Fulham, who've been fantastic. Kepa's in goal. Chalobah, Silva, Koulibaly, Azpilicueta and Hall. Lovely play by João Felix. Should have been 1-0. It should have been 1-0. João Felix, brilliant bit of skill. Put it on a plate for Havertz, who I would ask, why is he playing? He just doesn't look interested, and that was a shitty little finish, but brilliant play by João Felix. So yes, Chelsea are playing with a back five, but look at this ball from Azpilicueta. João Felix sends Ream back to the States. It's a lovely, that's just clean by João Felix. Brilliant skill, brilliant cross. I've told you he's a diamond in the rough. Even Chelsea fans aren't sure about him. I think he's fantastic. I really do. I think he'd have been brilliant at Man United. Anyway, back five for Chelsea. Chalobah, Thiago Silva, Koulibaly as the centre-backs. Azpilicueta and Hall as the full-backs. Midfield three of Mount, Zakaria and Kovacic. And then João Felix and Havertz up front, who... I just don't rate Havertz. I'm sorry. He'll probably go and score a hat-trick tonight. But, yeah, it's a foot injury for Mitrovic. But, look, that's brilliant from João Felix. Brilliant from Felix already. And Chelsea should be 1-0 up. Simple as. Keep your eye on him. I told you. Like, people think, he's a flop. He's a load of shit. I'm telling you, he's a top player who's been playing in a system that is ultra defensive. You know, Messi at Atletico Madrid wouldn't work. But look, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But a good start there. Apparently, Mitrovic is actually suspended. He's got a yellow card. I do like João Felix, and maybe he'll flop. I don't think he will. I think he's perfect for the Premier League, because the Premier League, you know, encourages fast football, encourages space football. La Liga, Atletico Madrid, you know, they excel when they have 40% possession. Yeah, join the João Felix party. I think he's a great player, and I really wish Man United had got him, and I'm not the only one. Erik ten Hag did as well. Hi Mark, can you say happy birthday to my friend Connor BD? There we go, happy birthday. Tan, I want you to get into your comments tonight. Tan May says, no one talks enough about what a flop Koulibaly's been. I think there's an identity crisis at Chelsea. You know, I can't be arsed. I've seen myself getting clipped up by Chelsea fans, which is great when, you know, I've had it with Arsenal and Arteta. I don't want to be the professor of, you know, level-headed thinking for other clubs, but I have said it. Like, if you look at Chelsea's transfer activity, you almost need to. If I was a Chelsea fan, I wouldn't even stress about it, basically, because the summer signings were Tuchel's, and Tuchel got the sack. So Fofana, Koulibaly, Sterling, Cucurella. I think there's about £200 million there, isn't there? I think there's more. What did was Fofana 80 million? Cucurella was 50 million. Sterling was 40. Yeah, about £200 million. You know, do what you want with that, but they're not Potter's signings, are they? So whether they're decent or not, calling them a flop is somewhat relevant because they were bought by a different manager. So, you know, you've got to hope that they're going to work, but it's they were bought on Tuchel's watch, weren't they? The lasagna was beautiful, Matt. If you've been watching that lasagna was absolutely banging. I didn't leave it in for 6 hours, but what a lasagna that was. One of the best I've made. You know, it's funny because the wife said, this is a really good lasagna. Food always tastes better when someone else makes it for you. And I said, but I made it and it's a better lasagna than you've made for a year. She just got up and walked out. But, you know, the truth hurts sometimes. You've got to be truthful. I disagreed with food tasting better when someone else cooks it for you. It was a brilliant lasagna and I made it. Hashtag deal with it. The truth hurts. Chelsea does feel a bit like us back in the day when we just threw names at a problem and hoped they turned out fortune, says Nick. Well, let's see. I'm not too good crossing, headed away. Fulham are doing quite well here. I'm not too hot on what the situation is with Chelsea because I'm not a supporter of Chelsea. But Badiashile is on the bench. That's a new signing. The bench is starting to look a little bit better. Half shot on the turn there for Fulham from Vinicius Junior. Not Vinicius Junior. I always call him Vinicius Junior. It's the guy who, he was on. He did quite well at Benfica, didn't he? Alves Moraes, but I call him Vinicius. He was at Benfica, went to Spurs, didn't really get a look in. Fulham's probably more his level. But Chelsea's bench is starting to look a bit better. Badashil's there now. You wonder how long it will be until he gets in. And Havertz, that's the last man foul. But look at the... Oh, come on, that's another one. Should be 2 yellow cards here, ref. Havertz got took down and then João Felix got took down. You've got to book them both. He should be booking them both. He's only going to book one. The pace of João Felix there was frightening, wasn't it? Look how quick he is. João Felix up against their fullback in a foot race and he absolutely burned him. Deceptively quick he is. Anyway, look, the bench for Chelsea, Badashil's on there. I think Fofana, that's the Fofana they've bought as well. He's on there. Jorginho, Ziyech, Aubameyang, Conor Gallagher, Chukwuemeka, Cucurella. So the bench is starting to look a little bit better for Chelsea. They still need a few back more, but Treble Champ says, I know you've got a soft spot for Chelsea due to your dad, but if Potter started like this at United, we'd rightfully want him gone, window or not. No, I disagree. I think that the circumstances... Look, you either like Potter or you don't. I was a massive fan, like many other people, of Potter at Brighton. I think he did an amazing job. And I was very excited to see him getting given a job in the top four. João Felix shoots wide. He's had a very good start, you know. Very positive start. Chelsea looking a lot better. No, I mean, look, I think a manager who's not had a pre-season, not had a transfer window, had loads of injuries, he's almost like the English Rangnick. And you know I liked Rangnick. So actually, Treble Champ, I've just sat you down there, haven't I? Because I was one of the few who was very, very sympathetic to Rangnick all the way through. Even when people turned against him, I liked him. So I think there are big similarities between what happened with Rangnick. You know, got brought in, no pre-season, no transfers, and had loads of injuries as well. So, you know, I'd like to see Potter do well, but I don't see them getting top four. I don't see that happening. I know they've had a bad run of fixtures, Chelsea, but this season is so competitive. And I mean, Chelsea's advantage is that they're out of both domestic cups, so they will get recovery time. They play today. I mean, the ridiculous... I don't... Maybe someone can explain this to me. Why are Chelsea playing today and Sunday? That seems ridiculously unfair. Why are they playing today and Sunday? Like, they're playing Thursday night and then they're playing on Sunday against Palace. And then they've got Liverpool away. So you could see, for Chelsea, they've got Fulham twice in their next 4 games. Their next 3 Premier League games are obviously Fulham tonight, then they've got Palace on Sunday, Liverpool the following weekend, and then they've got Fulham at home. So if they can win tonight, you could see them winning 3 of their next 4. You'd expect them to beat Palace at home on Sunday, Fulham at home, and then they've obviously got Liverpool away. So, yeah, it's tough. It's a very tough league to get yourself getting some momentum from. They've got games in hand, apparently. Oh, it's a Queen's death postponement that they've put in. Thanks everyone for tuning in, by the way. Please do subscribe to the channel, bottom right hand corner. I've got a cracking video coming out on here tomorrow. Get ready for it. Not going to give you any spoilers. And what a weekend we've got of football as well. We've got the Manchester derby at 12:30. I'll be live on the United stand. Then at 7:30 on Saturday night, I'm live on Talk Sport for the Mark Goldbridge show. You can call in, you can watch it on YouTube. And then on Sunday, I'm back on here for the North London derby, Arsenal against Spurs. What a weekend of football. We're back, baby, and I can't wait. Of course, Chelsea have still got... I think there's a bit of my thoughts is why is Havertz playing? But to be honest, it's not like there's any other options. Sterling's injured, Pulisic is injured, Aubameyang is a waste of time. So as bad as Havertz is, I can understand why Potter's picked him, because he's not completely useless and he might do something. What's up with the camera angle, says Ben. I know it's like my FIFA career mode, this. Liam Parker says, where's Twitch today? In the same place tomorrow. I'm done with Twitch. My FIFA career mode is starting tomorrow. It's a Man United career mode and it's going to be on here. I've done the spoiler. I've ruined it. Yeah, FIFA career mode is coming back to YouTube 3 o'clock tomorrow for a Manchester United career mode. I know it's going to upset some people, but it's a new career mode. It's going to be on YouTube. It's going to be live. It's going to be at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Brighton Liverpool is another good one this weekend, says Thomas. Why? What time? Sorry, what time is that? Nice play here. Lovely one too. Mount. That's a great cross. Oh, João Felix. He's done a Nunez. He was offside anyway. It would have been a great goal. It was good link-up play between Chelsea here. Mason, Mount and Havertz, and the cross was good. And João Felix here, you thought it was going to be that dream moment. He is offside anyway. The miss won't matter. Should have gone with your head, mate. You should have headed that. Pau Felix, says Lissandro. Oh, the old ones are the best. She bangs the drum. We're having a party. It's Thursday night football and it's not Europa League. I'm all for it. So it's really windy at the moment. I don't know whether it's windy where you live, but it's really windy. We're 400 subscribers away from 874,000. So please do subscribe, bottom right hand corner, and get involved there in the channel. But it's a good game this so far. And what I haven't said yet is, this is the weekend of derbies, because you've got the Manchester derby on Saturday, you've got the North London derby on Sunday, and this is a derby. It's the Rich derby. That's a penalty. Surely that was a penalty for Fulham. It looked like a penalty to me. I think it was a penalty. I think this could be a penalty. Let's have a look. Nah, maybe not. Maybe not. Zakaria, a little bit rash. Nah, not for me. He took a tumble. I'd be very surprised if they were to overrule that. I think if he gives it, he gives it, obviously. But I don't feel it was a penalty. Pereira's, let's have a look. VAR. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, I don't know. I don't know about that. My initial thinking is it's not. I think it's one of those where if the referee gives it, they give it. João Felix goes for a shot. I don't know. Answers on a postcard there. It's a tough one. Oh, I'm going to have to do a poll, aren't I? I think for me, if he'd given it, it's a soft penalty. If he hasn't given it, I think VAR is always going to not overrule him because it's got to be clear and obvious. I've done a poll for you, penalty or not. I feel I can explain these very well now, having done so many. So basically, if you're not watching, Zakaria goes in on Vinicius. There is connection. It is a little bit reckless. Vinicius goes down. The referee doesn't give it. VAR reviews it and says play on. And I think what many of us have understood now is it doesn't mean it's not a penalty. Technically, I think it probably could have been a soft penalty. But the rules are VAR will only overrule a referee if it's clear and obvious. Well, obviously, they'll look at that and go, well, if he'd given a penalty, we would accept it. But he hasn't. And it's not clear and obvious that he's got that wrong. So we'll let his decision stand. So it doesn't mean it's not a penalty, if you know what I mean. It just means that they've backed the referee who didn't feel it was enough. Mark must be happy with the Saints' result last night, says Josh. Very happy with it. And Southampton fans must be over the mood, considering you're bottom of the league. I have the feeling Spurs will surprise Arsenal, says Music. Massive week for Arsenal. Spurs and then United. Take 6 points out of those and you've got a hand on the old silver trophy, I think. Tell you what I love about this community is you're locked in on 50-50 on the penalty, and I think that's absolutely right. I think if the referee gives it, it's a bit soft. If he doesn't give it, people will say he should have given it. If Mbappe had to join the Premier League, in which team do you want him to be and why, says Zape. Oh, Man United, please. It's obvious, isn't it? I think it's been better by Chelsea. I mean, let's not forget, Fulham are a good side. Here's João Felix. Cross, not that good. Fulham are a good side. 7th in the league. They're not relegation fodder. And I think, well, what do you think, Chelsea fans? I think this has been one of the better performances from Chelsea I've seen for a few weeks. Although, I thought against Man City last week, they played quite well. They just didn't have the quality. With the regular fullbacks, they're a top 4 team, in my opinion, says Michael. Oh, talking about Chelsea. Wow, I think Reece James is a massive loss, yes. I got told today, Dumfries to Chelsea in January. Watch this space. So, I've got 3 or 4 people who are very good around Chelsea. It's weird. I've almost got as many people around Chelsea as I've got around United, which is weird. And it's not because my dad supports them or anything like that. I've just got a few people who are very good around Chelsea information. I don't know whether anyone's aware, but I was one of the first people to say Sterling to Chelsea in the summer. And obviously João Felix starting today. I think you know where I got that from, but that was very early. We'll see about Dumfries. It's not always right. I was told that Tielemans was going to Arsenal at the end of the transfer window in the summer, and it didn't happen. But we'll see. We'll see. Great to see so many people positive about João Felix. Gutted, absolutely gutted. I mean, we haven't really seen Gakpo for Liverpool yet, have we? But I mean, Gakpo was a player that Ten Hag wanted. João Felix was a player that Ten Hag wanted. I just can't be arsed with that sort of mentality anymore. I used to be like it in my 20s. I'd be like, never wanted him anyway, he's a load of shit. And I think the older I've got, I'm like, it's just wasted energy. We did want him. I wish we did get him. He's a good player. CJ, welcome to the Members Club. And you can already see his quality. I just think if you don't need to watch. If you've got certain players that you watch and you like, João Felix was a revelation at Benfica. I know quite a lot about João Felix because when United bought Bruno, we were linked to him for about a season before. So I took a lot interest in the Portuguese league that year. And basically, Bruno at Sporting and João Felix at Benfica were tearing it up. And to be honest with you, João Felix was doing better than Bruno. They were both brilliant, but Benfica won the league that year and João Felix was fantastic. The move to Atletico Madrid surprised me because Atletico Madrid under Simeone, you can't go to Atletico Madrid and then go, oh my God, I can't believe they played park the bus negative football. I thought I was going to Man City. I thought they played good football. They don't. It was a terrible move. And João Felix and his agent have got to look at that and say, look, that was a really bad career move. But I think that's made him a diamond in the rough. I really do think he's a top quality player. And I think if you put him in a team that wants to attack, you will see a good player because he's going to have more of the ball. So I'm very interested to see what he can do. I think he would, but I'll say what I've said. I think João Felix would have been a better fit for Arsenal and a better fit for Man United. I actually think he suits Man United and Arsenal more than he suits Chelsea. I think that's the only thing that might be an issue is can he settle into a Chelsea team that's very unsettled? But, if you go to Arsenal, very settled team, I think he would have made a big impact. If he'd come to Man United, quite a settled team, I think he'd have made a big impact. So Chelsea, for me, is the harder place for him to go. So let's see how he gets on. Koulibaly. Oh, what's going on here with Chalobah? This could be a big chance for Fulham. Oh, he's hit the bar. He's hit the Denver. Bloody hell, Fulham. I thought it was in. Here's Willian. He goes for a shot as well. Chelsea a little bit fortunate not to be 1-0 down here. Kepa was beaten all hands up. Cordova-Reid with the shot. Chalobah makes a right mess of it. Koulibaly gets pulled out of position. Gives Cordova-Reid the chance. Hits it well. Kepa's beaten all hands up. Straight onto the bar. Felix and Martinez both quite similar, says Michael. The bar saves Chelsea. Chalobah. Sloppy at the back. You know what I think, and I'm sure many Chelsea fans would agree. The loss of Rudiger. And I remember saying at the time, I think Koulibaly could be a better player than Rudiger, and he could have been, but they've massively missed Rudiger, haven't they? Big Chelsea fan, big question. Mendy or Kepa, says Josh. I don't rate Kepa. I don't rate Kepa. And it's funny, I was talking to Ben Foster, and we were talking. He's really bad at coming for crosses. Willian. 1-0 to Fulham. It's in the back of the net. And it's Willian. 1-0. And Chelsea, well, I tell you what. It's been coming. It's been coming. Potter. His defence is a bloody mess. It's all over the place. Deflects it in. Of all the people to score, it is Willian. You can't argue with it. They've just hit the bar. Poor out the back by the young lad Hall. Cross comes in. Bad header by Chalobah. He's having a bloody nightmare. And Azpilicueta. And it deflects off Chalobah as well. Chalobah has just had a horrific couple of minutes. It was his fault the shot hit the bar. He could have headed it away. And then he could have blocked the shots. I mean, you've got to feel sorry for Potter, haven't you? It's individual errors, really. But Fulham have been all over them, and Ladios is right. Kepa can't do anything about that, and it's deflected into the bottom corner. Chelsea have got a mountain to climb. 3 at the back isn't working, says Gazzy. I think he's playing 3 at the back because he doesn't trust 2 at the back. I tell you what, he's right. It's like Argos. Harry's right. He says it's a catalogue of errors. Sponsored by Argos, definitely. Is Argos still... Argos still exists? Of course it does. I walked past it today. Make sure you subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. So we've got a good game on the go here. Chelsea currently losing 1-0 to Fulham. And João Felix might be realising what a big job he's got on. Elwick says Potter shouldn't have left Brighton. Whatever happens with Potter, you're going to take that job. If you're manager of Brighton and Chelsea want you, you're going to take the job. You can't argue with him taking the job. Plenty of time to go yet. Problem is you're away from home. That galvanises Fulham. They're a hard-working team, Fulham. I mean, look, if I'm being absolutely honest, in the first few minutes of this game, Chelsea have conceded a goal that never should have happened because it's crap defending by Chalobah. And they should have been 1-0 up and it's crap finishing by Havertz. I mean, as a manager, and I've been a manager, you are just like, this is a bloody joke, you know. Funny thing is, I don't think Chelsea would be miles better than this. Is João Felix? Good shot. Keeper. Even if Potter was appointed in the summer, he's a mid-tier coach at best, says Daniel. Daniel, you are speculating nonsense. You cannot say that Chelsea would be in the same position if Graham Potter had a pre-season and took them away on tour. Like, he's not had a pre-season. It makes a big difference. 50-50 on the penalty for Fulham. It doesn't really matter now. Somebody said, can you do a poll on Potter? We will do. What's your favourite Potter film? Order of the Phoenix or Prisoner of Azkaban? No, I know what we're doing. Potter in, Potter out. We'll do that. We're a democracy here. Get your votes in. Simeone to Chelsea next season, says Joshua. Yeah, João Felix won't be signing for Chelsea if that happens. I've got to be careful because I remember when Arsenal fans were printing Arteta out t-shirts, and I would warn Chelsea fans about that. There were Arsenal fans printing Arteta out t-shirts, and there were Arsenal fans Arteta out, and now look at them. They look like a bunch of prats. So these things can happen, and I'm not saying that Potter's going to take Chelsea to where Arsenal have been taken by Arteta, but it wouldn't surprise me if he did. It's harder to see what Potter's doing. God, there's a lot of empty seats there. Look at the bottom right-hand corner. Look at how many empty seats they've got at Craven Cottage for a derby. The biggest indicator of any manager's future is whether the players are playing for the manager. And that's what I've been thinking for the last 20 minutes. Are these players playing for the manager? Because when you lose the players, it's over. And I got told about a month ago that the players love Potter. Now, do you see that? Oh, the stand is being built. Sorry, Chloe. That's why there's empty seats at Fulham. I stand by what I keep saying. No transfer window, no pre-season, loads of injuries. The most competitive Premier League season we've had for a while. It's a recipe for what we're seeing. It's just, I'm not a Chelsea fan and I'm not the owner, so I don't know whether the patience will be there. But I would say, as an outsider looking in, the same as an outsider looking in at Arsenal and Arteta, you've got to give him longer than February. And Fulham nearly scored there. Good defending by Thiago Silva. Offside. Tuchel can manage better than Potter with his eyes closed, says Coutinho. Well, you must walk around with your eyes closed and your ears covered because you clearly haven't got a fucking clue about what's going on at the club you profess to support. I can't believe how many times I have to keep saying this. You do realise that Tuchel burnt all his bridges at Chelsea with not only the owners but a lot of the players as well. Lovely play by João Felix here. Oh, he's a delight. He's a bloody delight. He is, isn't he? I fucking wish we'd signed Felix. Some of his link-up, I mean, he's miles offside again here, but some of his link-up play is fantastic. He's certainly the bright spark in that Chelsea team. Havertz, Mount, they've been a bit sloppy, but every time João Felix gets on the ball, he just looks like something's going to happen. I do look. He's not scored. Chelsea are losing, but I don't just look at results. I look at players, and I think that João Felix, even in an Arsenal team, would have been very useful. Good play by Havertz there. Kovacic, he's not going to get that. Dear me, Havertz again with a shitty pass. Gets the recovery tackle in. Referee waves play on. Mason Mount now. Nothing ahead of him though. Now Kovacic. I'm a big fan of Kovacic as well. Good player. Into Azpilicueta. No one's going to get in the box. Hall. Oh, good save by the keeper. It deflected as well. Good play. Good save by Leno. Hall didn't really connect with it very well. He's definitely playing like he's been there longer than Havertz, Charles. Having João Felix is like having a Ferrari in the middle of the desert. Can't complain we have him though. We finally have someone exciting to watch, says Dusk. Welcome to the Members Clubs, Alex. Yeah, look, I don't think that you are... Obviously, you're losing the game, Chelsea, but, you know, the most exciting player you've got is João Felix. He's certainly a player that you just keep your eye on. Chelsea can be quite good at set pieces. They've got a corner here. I mean, Fulham are doing this without Mitrovic as well, let's not forget. 10 minutes to go to half-time. Fulham leading 1-0, deservedly. They'd hit the bar just before they scored. Cross comes in. Good header. Second ball. Fulham win it. And a weird shot by Kovacic over the bar. Chelsea need a better backup right back than Azpilicueta. If he is the club captain, he's not good enough for this level anymore, says Prod. Well, somebody said it a few minutes ago, and they're right. Chelsea would be a lot better team if they had Reece James and Ben Chilwell. It's a hard system to play when your fullbacks are a youngster and Azpilicueta. You know, it's two extremes. One player is just very, very inexperienced and young, and the other player is very experienced and past it at this level. Jack says, what's happening with Potter is the same thing that happened with Ranić. The players don't suit the way he wants to play. Thank you, Jack. Are Chelsea players as bad as their position now? Potter might need to alter his system accordingly to the players instead of the other way round, says Neil. Yellow card here. I didn't see the tackle, so I can't comment. Chalobah it is. Nah, it's not a red. Not a red for me. Went for the ball. Mitrovic is suspended, says the racing guy. Second booking this season for Chalobah. Difference is Arsenal lost their home stadium on promises of success and put up with crap for 15 years. Chelsea throwing their toys out after 15 weeks, says Richard Jarvis. Thank you very much for the super chats tonight. Appreciate them. Chalobah's having a bloody terrible game. At fault for the goal, booked. He's all over the place, to be honest. Arnold told us in that pub chat we were a bit broke and he knew about the 70% rule. I bet. No surprise that we can't afford anyone. Very good point, Michael Fetty. There was a good video on the United Stand this afternoon. I was talking about the summer and, you know, restricted budgets. Joseph says, get Badashil on. Well, if that Fofana lad is a striker, put him on. Put the youngster on. You know, the guy you've got from Mulder. Is that him, or is that the Fofana on the centre back? The Fofana on the bench for Chelsea. Is that the striker from Mulder, or is that the centre back that you both overpaid for? Apparently, Betis are winning against Barcelona. What a ball by João Felix that is as well into Havertz. He has been the bright light of this Chelsea team. Havertz has done well. Terrible first touch. Azpilicueta over the bar. Corner, definitely. Lovely play by... look at this pass by João Felix. Takes 3 players out. Lovely ball. I'll tell you why I wanted João Felix at Man United. You can see in 38 minutes that he can play in so many places. Sean Jackson, it's not Twitch tomorrow. I'm on YouTube tomorrow. Manchester United career mode, 3 o'clock on here. But you can already see from João Felix, and this is why I wanted him at United. He can play the Bruno role. He can play as a false 9, and he can play off the wide. And I think for Chelsea, it's not what they need, probably. But for Man United and Arsenal and Man United are both having really good seasons. But the question mark is, have they got depth? Well, João Felix could play in the Saka role. He could play in the Martinelli role. He can play in the Jesus role. He can play in the Odegaard role. He can play in the Bruno role. He can play in the Martial role. He can play in the Rashford role. He can play in the Antony role. So I think that is why Ten Hag wanted him. And that is why I think he would have been worth his weight in gold. A diamond in the rough is what I described him as a few weeks ago. The funny thing is, I don't know whether he suits Chelsea. I don't know whether he suits Chelsea because Chelsea are so hard to read at the moment. I don't know what suits Chelsea, but he's certainly been the shining light in this Chelsea side because I think one of the big things that has been levelled at Chelsea recently is there's no system, there's no rhythm. Havertz, you're in! Pull it back! Oh, what a shock by João Felix. Good save by Leno. He's making things happen. He is making things happen here. Chelsea, it was a save you'd expect Leno to make, but he still made the shot. Oh, he's given the foul. He's given the foul there. Yeah, I agree with Kirst187. He says he would have been a good player for Arsenal as well. Yeah, he would. He would. I mean, Chelsea I think what happened with João Felix is, I was speaking to Fabrizio on Monday on the United stands, and he was like, Man United will stay interested in João Felix and Arsenal will stay interested in João Felix. And what happened is, and you know what happened anyway, I think Arsenal and Man United expected, I mean, it's only the 12th of January. I think Arsenal and Man United expected Atletico Madrid to drop the price, and I think they would have done. They would have dropped the price over the next couple of weeks, and that's what I think Arsenal and Man United were waiting for. And they were like, we're not paying the price you want, you'll have to drop it. And then Chelsea came in and said, we will pay it. And that ended any chance of United or Arsenal getting him. So it's market demand, isn't it? Thoughts on black pudding on an English breakfast? James, that will be like a foreign language to some people, but I don't know what black pudding's made of. It's I think it comes from a pig. It's blood, isn't it, and stuff. But I got to be honest, I hated it until I was about 25, and then I was so hungry once. It was left on my plate, so I ate it, and I do like it. I do like it on an English breakfast, I've got to admit. But the thought of it is repulsive, and I hated it for a long time. 61% are Potter in, and 39% are Potter out. Good to see there's a bit of positive. When the new Harry Potter game is released in February, I'll make my character the man, the myth, the legend, Wout Weghorst. Also Man United career at FM23, says Jack Clancy. Would I take João Felix at Man United in the summer, Lewis? I don't think it'll happen. But I think there's a lot. We'll have to see how the loan move goes. But I think already he looks like Chelsea's best player, which some would say is not hard. So that he might have quite a bit of interest in the Premier League. Thoughts on porridge, Mark? Ten Hag, a Dutch clown, says Egg. And Chelsea fans see us getting relegated this year, says Super Frank. The thing is, you can talk about progression but I'll be absolutely honest. Ants TV has just gifted a membership, legend. You can keep talking about patience and everything, but if the players down tools, you're in trouble. And that's the thing I would be looking at. Are the players playing for the manager? Jay, as an Arsenal fan, I wish our fan content was as good as the United stand. What the hell is Kepa doing there? He's a bloody nightmare. Cheers, Jay. Thanks very much for that. Look at Kepa there. He's a bloody disaster. I mean, what's difficult about catching that? Nothing. I don't know. I mean, look, I don't know when that was and I don't know who did it, but whoever paid £70 million for Kepa is a bloody prat. Jordan, I'm not doing Twitch anymore. I've been trying Twitch out for about 18 months, and to be honest, I always used to do FIFA on YouTube, and you know, I was thinking about it over Christmas, and I'm just going to do I'm starting a new career mode. It's going to be Man United tomorrow, so it's a chance to bring it back to YouTube. So I'm going to bring it back to YouTube. Some people won't like it, some people will, but I just I don't mind Twitch, but I prefer YouTube. So it's nearly half time here, and it's Fulham who are leading. Lovely ball again by Felix. Say what you like about him, but he makes things happen. They desperately... When's Reece James back? They desperately miss Reece James, don't they? And Fulham at the moment, if they can keep Felix quiet, I think they've won. I mean, Havertz, you've got to be taking him off. I just don't... He doesn't look interested, does he? I mean... I don't watch him week in, week out, but I've seen Chelsea a few times recently, and there's no doubt he's a good player, but in a Chelsea shirt, he's just... I don't know what it is. It doesn't look interested. Body language is terrible. Three minutes added on here. Patch, thank you very much. Welcome to the Members Club. Please do subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner to do it. We are getting close to 874k. Everyone's welcome on That's Football, as you know. Got some big shows coming up for you. We've got FIFA Career Mode starts live tomorrow, if that's your thing, 3 o'clock. But also got a good video coming out in the morning. And weekend, North London Derby, Watchalong on Sunday. Let's bring it on. Can't wait. And Man United, of course, is going to be on the United stand. And if you're interested, Saturday night from 7:30 till 9, I'll be live on national radio on the Mark Goldbridge Show on TalkSport. It is also live on YouTube as well. But call in, have your say. We'll be talking about some big games on Saturday. None more bigger than the Manchester Derby. What is your Championship top 3 prediction, says Joe? I do not know anything about the Championship. But Burnley will get promoted. That's about all I know. Liam says, I wish Norwich would stay down. Don't tell me Norwich are doing it again. fucking yo-yo. I mean, to be honest with you, though, let's have a sod it. Let's have a quick look. I say this every year. It's one of the biggest problems in football. I mean, Norwich will stay down there mid-table, but the parachute payments, if you look at the last 10 years of relegations, promotions, the vast majority of teams that get promoted have been down in the last 2 years. The parachute payments make it very, very easy for clubs to bounce straight back. Burnley, Sheffield United, they're the top two and they're going to get promoted. It's harsh because Blackburn have been floating around for a while. They deserve to come up, but you know, Watford are in there, aren't they? I mean, the top three could be Burnley, Sheffield United and Watford. Was that not the three that got relegated last year? I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. You're the ones who know. I don't know. Anyway, let's stop the clock. It is 1-0 to Fulham at half-time. Felix has done well, to be honest, as Aaron Chambers. Yeah, you know what? I think that Felix has been Chelsea's bright spark. He's been Chelsea's best player. I was gutted Man United didn't get him. He is a diamond in the rough. There's no doubt about that. He, was training with Atletico Madrid a couple of days ago. He's Chelsea's best player. Mason Mount, Havertz, they've been at Chelsea for bloody ages, and he's making them look shit, to be honest. His passing, his link-up play, his movements, it's on a different level to them. And, I personally would give Potter more time. I really, really would. But, it's... If the players aren't playing for the manager, there's no point in giving them time. And I think that's the question here. Potter definitely should get more time. No transfer window in the summer. No pre-season. Loads of injuries. Clubs in transition. Of course he's got to have more time than bloody 3 months. But if the players aren't playing for him, admittedly, you would be better off sacking him. And that would be a real shame. So the players have got to show more. I read a lot. I see a lot of Chelsea fans, and a lot of them want to back Potter. A lot of them don't want Potter. A lot of them criticise the haphazard transfer approach from Bowley. A lot of them praise it. But I think at this point, the most important thing is players giving it their all on the pitch. And I'm not seeing that. And that is inexcusable. Because Potter should get more time. And what Chelsea and Bowley are doing is exciting. They are going out and buying good players. But these players have got to deliver. That's the problem I see. I think, I'm not going to name individuals. It's not fair. But week in, week out, you're watching Chelsea and there's mistakes. That goal is a mistake. Even the goal that hit the bar, it's a mistake that leads to that. It's a bad pass by Chalobah. They hit the bar. The goal, it's a bad headed clearance by Chalobah. Aspilicueta's got to do better. And Chalobah's got to block it better. And they're 1-0 down. At 0-0, João Felix does brilliant. First 2 touches in the game, I think it was. Puts the cross in. Havertz has got to do better. Doesn't. There's players all over that pitch who are letting people down. And you've got to be doing better than that. At this level, you've got to do better than that. I believe this is the biggest Manchester derby since Fergie left. Thoughts, Mark Goldbridge, as Matt. I agree. I think I can't wait for it. I really can't. Talking about things you can't wait for. One Football. It's next to me there. Scan the QR code or go through the link in the description. Fantastic app you can get that is free to download. Get all your latest breaking football news, transfer news, stats for your team and others. Download for free, One Football, link in the description, or scan the QR code. As I say, it's free to do, and you can get all your latest data and just everything on there. Check it out. Thank you very much. Ezzy, you just got yourself blocked. Well done. Just to let you know. Do you think Newcastle will beat Man United in the final? I do think it will be Newcastle versus Manchester United in the Carabao Cup final. Interestingly enough, Manchester United play Barcelona on the Thursday before the Carabao Cup final. So if we're in the final, we'll have a second leg against Barcelona at Old Trafford on the Thursday night, and then we'll be playing Sunday afternoon in the Carabao Cup. Anybody who plays Thursday, Sunday will know how difficult that is, and Newcastle will have the whole week off, so be difficult. But look, Man United are playing a lot well at the moment, and I can't wait for Manchester Derby on Saturday. I love your intelligent brain, Mark. Hope family are well. Yours too, Joseph. Thank you very much. I don't think Potter suits Chelsea's ownership. He's used to nurturing talents. Bowley is bringing in ready-made players. Chelsea need a Zidane, says Jack. And Marketing James says, this team is definitely for top four. How in the world is Newcastle United so good with the squad they have is ridiculous, says Marketing James. Thank you very much for that. Can Chelsea get back in the second half? I mean, to be honest with you, Fulham are at home. They've got the first goal. They're playing well. I think in many ways it's been quite an equal game, but it's going to be difficult for Chelsea to get 3 points from this position. If I was Potter, I would seriously look at that bench. The trouble is, so many players that have been reliable in the past are unreliable. I wouldn't mind having Jorginho on just to run the midfield, but I don't know whether he can do that anymore. I'd take Havertz off, but who can you trust off the bench? I mean, it's a very big gamble, but if that Fofana is the lad from Mulder, and I haven't had any clarity on that. Ian Nichols, thanks for the super chat. If that lad from on the bench called Fofana is the one from Mulder, I'd bring him on. I'd take Havertz off. I understand why he's picked Havertz, but he's not improving. So you'd be better off putting somebody on who's actually going to give you a shift. Like, you can have Aubameyang's a talented player, but he's not putting a shift in, so don't pick him. Havertz, for me, is a talented player, but he's not putting a shift in. Get him off. You know, Havertz might be an 8 on his day, but he's a 4. You'd be better off putting someone who's a 6, but will give you a 6. You'll get more out of them. So, yeah. I feel bad for Felix. No disrespect to Chelsea, but they look god-awful right now. But it might be too early on in Felix's Premier League career. Love the content, says Gog. Thank you very much. I'm really disappointed that João Felix didn't come to Manchester United. I think he would have been brilliant for us. I did say when he went to Chelsea, I can understand why it's happened, because it's financial. They offered the money that Atletico Madrid wanted. But, I mean, João Felix made a bad decision going to Atletico Madrid. Has he made a bad decision coming to Chelsea? Time will tell. He's going to have to be the catalyst. For the Chelsea move to work, he's going to have to be the catalyst. If he'd gone to Man United or Arsenal, there'd have been less pressure. If Potter goes, Pochettino is the one, says Matt. Hi Mark, do you think there's anything in the rumours today linking Messi with going to the Saudi League? Seems very premature for him to consider such a move, says Robbo. Money. Who knows? Do we think Tuchel will come back, says Alfie? I think the way he left, no. But football is a funny old thing. Mourinho went back to Chelsea, so you just don't know. And he went back to Chelsea under the same ownership, didn't he? So you just don't know. But Magical Man's probably right. Tuchel will never come back to Chelsea. If you know the exit story, and some Chelsea fans amazingly don't seem to know the exit story, you'd know that was 100% the right decision for Tuchel and Chelsea to part ways. All right, Mark, hope you're well. Who's your pick for Champions League, bud? Don't think it's going to City this year, says Farms. No, I don't. I don't think Chelsea I don't think City are as good as they have been, which is probably why they'll win the Champions League, but I don't think they've been as good as they have been. My pick for the Champions League is Bayern Munich, but apparently they've had a few issues themselves. I mean, Neuer's out for the season. I think somebody else is as well. So, it is the striker Fofana on the bench, says Kitters. Well, he'll probably bring Aubameyang on first, won't he? But I'd certainly give him a go. Could Liverpool win it, says TRS? Yeah. Napoli would be fantastic, Liam. I'd love it. PSG could do it, says GS. Well, imagine that. Messi win the World Cup and the Champions League. You wouldn't write that off, would you? And Daniel's right. Injuries are insane this season for all clubs. I personally think it's the hardest season ever to predict anything. I keep saying this about United on the United stands. We're in the top 3 and we're in the top 4, and everyone keeps going on about we'll get top 4, and I'm like, I don't know how you can predict that. I really don't know how you can predict it, because there's 5 months left of this season and 2 or 3 big injuries, and you'll drop like a stone. And I think that's going to go for the Champions League as well. Like, everybody played in the World Cup. So everybody's going to be impacted by it. I think Bayern Munich had more players in the World Cup semi-final than anybody as well. So that doesn't bode well. So yeah, I think it's a very hard season to predict. And what I would say is, when you look at that league table that's going round, points on the board is really important, because you cannot rely on getting points back in this second half of the season, where I do think fatigue and injury will hit a lot of teams. The sports analyst says this Premier League season is like the good old days, but bar Man City, United, Arsenal up there, Chelsea in the mud, as they rightly deserve. There we go. Chelsea ruined Havertz, says Rolf, and Chelsea fan here, absolutely shocked at the state of this team. Nothing to do with Potter. Players are just not giving it their all, says Zephy. It's embarrassing. Yeah, that's the problem though. That will be the end of the manager if the players don't book their ideas up. We've seen it at many clubs. I saw it at United last year. Unfortunately, it's one of the biggest injustices. It's one of the big injustices in football. Players can down tools and get rid of a manager, and they stay. Management's a very difficult job, because you can know the players are a bunch of shitheads, but you've still got to try and keep them on side, because they can be the problem. You can know they're the problem, but if they know they're the problem, they can get you the sack. And I would not be sacking Potter in a million years, but to be honest, he could be gone in a month if these players don't book their ideas up and start delivering. If United didn't get Ten Hag, would he be at Chelsea, says Alex Roach. Well, I think that they... the sport analyst says Potter is experienced in the Ollie and Emery effect. I think the brilliance of bringing Ten Hag to Manchester United is that if Pep left Man City, if Klopp left Liverpool, and probably Tuchel leaving Chelsea, he would have been interviewed for the job as an Ajax manager. He was certainly the next manager to go for if you're an intelligent football club. Mark, I'm wondering how City profit more than Man United do, says Wan. Got no idea. We were talking about this on the United stand today. How do Manchester City make more revenue than Real Madrid when they don't have anywhere near the same fan base? I'm talking revenue. I'm not talking about how you spend your revenue. We're not talking about profit. We're talking about revenue. How are they generating more revenue than clubs that have got way bigger fan bases? And why are football organisations not asking that question as well? Is it possible Man United signed Felix in the summer? Says Sam. I think that ship sailed. And the sport analysis, please enjoy a cold, refreshing pint on me. Cheers, pal. Felix has been the best player for Chelsea, says Ziani. Definitely. Can I just ask, please do subscribe to the channel, bottom right-hand corner. We are trying to get up to 874,000 subscribers tonight. We're only 150 away. We're on 873,850. So please click the button, bottom right-hand corner. It's free to do. Subscribe to the channel. That's football. Everybody's welcome on here. Do lots of watch-alongs and football shows and stuff. So get involved, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. And if you're a fan of FIFA, I normally stream on Twitch at 3 o'clock. I do like a FIFA career mode. Starting a Man United one tomorrow, and it's going to be on YouTube at 3 o'clock. So if that's something you'd be interested in watching in, or just want to have a chat, 3 o'clock tomorrow starts. It's a brand new Man United career mode. Most people will say, what you're going to do with Ronaldo. It's too painful to start a career mode with Ronaldo in it, so I'm going to start it without him in it. Probably just put a Veghorst in for the laugh. Thanks for subscribing, Scott. Flynn's a new member. Welcome, Flynn. Thank you very much. No word on a takeover yet, Shane. No. And Ishak says he's not in it. Weghorst might not be in it. Oh, shit. Well, I won't be able to have him then. Mark, the squad up made it so Ronaldo's not in Man United anymore. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. That's good. Right, second half's about to start here. You know what I'm really amazed by? Nobody said it, but I was running a timer and nobody said, where's the timer? Which amazes me because it's one of the big demands that always goes off in the chat. So I have a timer. It just wasn't on the screen. Hi, Mark. Do you think the Glazers won't sell United anymore after they see the improvement under Ten Hag? Says Jaxie. Oh, God. Robert says, can you confirm the amount of players that you can loan? Okay, Robert's opened up a wasp's nest here. Flynn, thank you very much for the super chat. Zach says, I wish we would have waited till the summer for Potter. I think he needed a pre-season with his players. He's got thrown in at the deep end with a team of injuries and players downing tools. Yeah, Zach, I agree. I think it's a bloody nightmare what Potter's been thrown into. But I don't blame him for taking the job. You've got to take it. Porto. What a chance, says Dean. Fucking Porto. You know. Never really recovered from that, did I? What was I going to say? Yeah, so look, question was from Robert McCormack. How many loans can you make in the Premier League? My understanding is you can only make 2 loans from domestic clubs. So Man United have loaned Butland from Palace and Weghorst from Burnley. So we've used up our 2 loans. However, international loans, you can do, I think it's 6 or 8. So you could go and loan Messi from PSG, Milinkovic-Savic from Lazio. You know, that's how I understand it works. Hay says, as a Tottenham fan and our tradition of signing many former Chelsea managers, it's glad to finally see some Chelsea fans wanting our former manager, says Hay. Thank you very much for the super chat. Appreciate it. You think Potter wanted all these new players, says Nigel? Don't know. Don't know how it works at Chelsea. Robert says, I don't know. I thought it was 2. How can Potter turn this around, Mark? He is going back to the way Chelsea used to set up under Tuchel. Players probably not buying into his projects as Min. Well, I think that's one of the most interesting things. I think the way Chelsea line up is very much the way Tuchel did, didn't he? The way Ronaldo celebrated his first goal at Al Nassr was embarrassing, says Ahmad. Look, Ronaldo's earning unbelievable money now, and he's basically a pantomime act, isn't he? And I don't mean that in an offensive way, but it's an exhibition, isn't it? That's the way to do it. It's an exhibition. Oh, the clock. Thank you very much. It is running. I just didn't put it on the screen. There it is. Chelsea do need Kante back, Dominic. Do you think United can win in the derby? Says Horn. Well, yeah, I do. Who've Chelsea got missing then who's injured? Sterling, Pulisic, Kante. Mount. Is it the post? That's a goal. It's a goal for Chelsea right at half-time here. Goal Chelsea. 1-1. And it's Kalidou Koulibaly. Pockets for Mino and Marnie. Sane, Kane and somebody else. Anyway, it's Kalidou Koulibaly and it's 1-1. And that is a dream start for Chelsea. Mason Mount with the intelligent front post free kick hits the post, takes Leno out of the game, and Koulibaly follows it up. Leno gets up, but he's stopped it from about a metre behind the line. It's a definite goal, and it's 1-1 Chelsea. Intelligent free kick by Mount. It's miles over the line by Koulibaly. I don't think Fulham fans can do a me. We don't need a GDS on this. They'll definitely do a GDS. They always do a GDS on this. They love it. Front post glitch, says Nathan. And Southgate, who has got England to a World Cup semi and quarter and a Euros final, wouldn't get a top 6 job, but Potter managed at Brighton is the new best thing. Thoughts, says Eaton. I think Southgate's a shit coach. I think Potter's a proper coach. So I heard that allegedly City may have fake sponsors that their owners hide behind to put money into the club. Funny how they can't fill a Champions League game, says Mason Reed. Well, how they make revenue more than Real Madrid when they can't fill their stadium is just amazing, isn't it? Hello Goldie, funny story. I was in my room and my mum wanted me to clean up the backyard and I had your video on. I just said I was in the Zoom call. Sister David, very good story, very good. You've just given me an idea. Idea for a programme? No, it's something I'd forgotten to write down earlier. But Fulham are on the attack here. What was the other one? Please give a like, everyone, says Renate. Hope you're doing well, Renate. Big shout out to Sally, by the way, one of our Red Devils, one of our mods. It's not well at the moment, so thoughts and best wishes to her. Chelsea don't deserve to win, says Sakin. Well, they're not winning, they're drawing. Got a good game on our hand now, though. You know what? Whatever you think, you've not had a good first half. You're 1-0 down at half time. You equalise with your first attack. 1-1. Flynn says, I'm a Bournemouth fan. What's your opinion? Oh, God, this is not going to go well, Flynn. And he's done a super chat. He says, I'm a Bournemouth fan. What's your opinion on the club and what's your opinion on them sending 3 players out on loan and not signing new players? Again, another shot by João Felix. He's accurate, isn't he? He's accurate. He's hit that shot straight at the keeper again, but he's a threat. I think Bournemouth are going to get relegated, Flynn. It doesn't mean I don't like you, but I have to be consistent. I think Southampton are going down. I think Bournemouth are going down. And I'm not sure on the third one yet. Mark, where can I find a discount code for Manscaped, please? It's not for me. My missus lost her phone. Up the Reds for the weekend, says Si. What the fuck are you talking about? Which stadium other than Old Trafford have you visited most, says Akshay. Ooh, good question. Trying to trap me. Wembley. That's the truth. Wembley is this. I've been to Wembley loads of times as a Man United fan. Been to watch England quite a few times as well. Here we go, GDS. Told you they'd show it. They love to show it. Goal line tech 10 minutes later. I tell you, they always show it. It's a bit like FIFA. You know when you play FIFA, you're playing, you've had a shot in the first half and then it will go, oh, look, at the GDS. Kalidou Koulibaly scored and Willian for Fulham in the first half. More intent. I tell you what, though, Chelsea have started off better second half. Monica says, do you think Everton will be relegated? Well, the fact that they want Anthony Elanga really does worry me about Everton. I like Elanga. He's not ready for Man United. I don't think he's ready for the Premier League, and he's certainly not ready for a relegation battle. So I think Anthony Elanga belongs in the Championship on loan. The fact that Everton want him would really make me be worried. Here's Kovacic. Now João Felix striding into space. He's got an overlap. And to Hall, I think he was offside there. Yeah. Mark, thanks for the super chat. Arsenal bid for Mudryk, apparently, says Harry. Do we know how much? Oh, Fulham on the attack. It's Andreas Pereira. I tell you what, if Kepa got beat on his front post there, he'd be in all sorts of trouble. Good play by Zakaria. I think he's had quite a good game. Right, here's the break for Chelsea. Oh, Havertz is fucking awful, mate. That's that. Tell you what, I ain't no Chelsea fan, but he's fucking awful. He did that last week against Aubameyang. That's that. I've seen him do that about 4 times in the last 2 games. Watch Havertz here. The run is there. Release it now, and he completely ignores it. He did it to Aubameyang last week. Ignores the most simple through ball all the fucking time. Jesus Christ, Chelsea fans, you've got to get that prat out your team. Just ignores passes to put people through one-on-one. Fucking hell. Oh, yeah, there's a substitution here for Chelsea. Player down. Another one. What's your opinion on some teams calling out United for ruining the transfer window by overpaying? Aren't Chelsea and City doing the same? Says Sacking. Who would you take at United from this current Chelsea squad? Felix, Andrew. Yeah, well, that's the one I would take. Mark, what happens if United beat City and that was the game that enabled Arsenal to win the league? Says Zane. I probably would say I think I want Arsenal to win the league over City anyway. I think I've said that before. I can't. Is this Zakaria who's down? It's looking bad. Yeah, it is. He's in trouble. It's a bad injury. It's a shame because he's done well. Jorginho's coming on. Could be game over for Chelsea. Well, it's a shame for Zakaria. I think he's had injury problems in the past. He's had a reasonable game for Chelsea. I think he's a decent player, but if you can't play, you can't play, as Michael Owen would say. I mean, he's not on a stretcher. He's very injury prone. Chelsea injured players: Fofana, Broha, Pulisic, Kante, Reece James, Mendy, Chilwell, Sterling, Loftus-Cheek. Well, I'd say there's about 6 starters there, isn't there? It's a lot. I mean, that would be like Man United not having Bruno, Dalot, Luke Shaw, De Gea. Who else is out? Anthony. You know, it's a lot. You're missing your 2 best fullbacks, your best goalkeeper, arguably your best number 10, and yeah, one of your wingers. It's tough. It is tough, isn't it? And I don't think people think of that. You know, when they're going Potter out, I think the big points are he didn't have a pre-season and he's not had a transfer window. But probably the more relevant point is, look at the players they've got out, and he's going to send Felix off, isn't he? He's going to send him off. Oh, fucking hell. I tell you what, it'd be such a shame if he sends him off. Because it's not deliberate, and it would just be... I think he might send him off. It's harsh, but I think he has to go. And it's such bad luck if it happens. Yeah, he sent him off. I think it is a red, but it's such a shame. It's such a shame. He's got to go for the ball. Yeah, it's a red. It's a red. I can't say it's not. Yeah, it's a red. I can't. There's no. It's a shame, but it's a red. There's no. I don't think there's a debate about it. It's João Felix who's got a red card, and he misses the next 3. I mean, Chelsea's season. I wonder about it. I really do wonder about. I mean, if you're Graham Potter or you're a Chelsea fan, you must be sat there and going, how can this get any worse? how can it get any worse? We've just brought a player in who's been our best player. He's got sent off, and now he's out for the next 3 games. Zakaria, your best midfielder, has gone off injured. I mean, you know what? We're living in this modern society world now, aren't we? Where people are going, laugh out loud. You still want him at Man United? Oh no, I don't want him at Man United because he's been their best player and he's got sent off. No, I don't want him. I mean, what sort of knobhead logic is that? How does that even work? Oh, you know what? He's just got sent off. I don't want him at United, even though he's been Chelsea's best player. Fucking hell. I'd take it. I'd still take him at United now. If Chelsea want to cancel the loan, we'll take him in February. He'll be back playing. 100% I'd take him at Man United. I think he's been brilliant for Chelsea. I think he deserves the red card. I think that's just over-eagerness, and we've seen plenty of players do that. I'd 100% take him at Man United. I think he's had a really good debut, apart from the red card, which he deserved. But you know, he's not a nasty player. He's pumped up, isn't he? He wants to make an impact. It's a definite red card. I can't defend it, but he's not that type of player. You can see the panic in Potter's face now. Fulham have got to go and win this now. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Make sure you subscribe. We're only 100 away from 874k. Chelsea down to 10 men. Fulham have got a great opportunity here to go and win this game now. Chelsea's best 2 players have gone off. Zakaria injured. Felix with a red card. It's just going bad from bad to worse. And Neil says Tuchel's got some magic on this team. The thing is, that's a 3-match ban, isn't it, for João Felix? So he won't be back for a while. I mean, I don't know what the injury situation is with Chelsea. So they need players back, and they need them back quick. Although they're on the attack here. Let's have a look what Chelsea's injury situation is. So Kante not back till March. Reece James not back till February. Fofana, the defender, not back till the end of the month. Ben Chilwell, no return date. Broha, no return date. Loftus-Cheek, no return date. Pulisic, no return date. Mendy, no return date. Sterling, no return date. So it's not like they've got players coming back. But Fulham need to just compose themselves here, because if they can get ahead, they've got this. AMK says, Mark, come to Qatar, you'll enjoy it. Hey, if anyone wants to invite me to Qatar or Dubai, I'll come over there. Give us a villa. Shane says, you're great company, Mark. I live on my own. Well, I'm glad people are enjoying it. You know, I like the watch-alongs because I've spent many a year watching these sort of games, and it's nice to have an interactive sort of chat going on whilst you're watching it, isn't it? If you're a football addict like me, I watch a lot of games, and to be honest with you, there's no one in my household that's going to go over tea. Who wants to watch Fulham Chelsea? No one. Not even the cat. Little traitorous, miserable shit. Coming to America, Mario G. I mean, that's a good film with Eddie Murphy. I'm coming to America in... when am I going to America? July. Man United are going on tour, so I'm coming to America for a couple of weeks. Looking forward to it. I don't know where we're going to be on tour. I mean, So if anyone's got any bars and stuff, I'll do a few meetups. That'll be good. But they normally play in LA. They don't normally play in New York, which is a shame. What did João Felix do, says Jack? I feel bad because I like the player. Forget the team he's playing for. If he'd have gone to Arsenal, I would have been very interested. I like the player. I think he's been your best player, but he's been over-eager. And Mason Mount's having a good second half. Havertz has done well. Went for the little dink, and it's a goal kick. Felix is gone until February 11th against West Ham. That's a shame, says Abdi. So he's out for a month. It's going to cost you a lot of money for a month as well. So I mean, Chelsea can't buy a break. But yeah, I mean, João Felix was Chelsea's best player for me. And then there's a 50-50 ball. It wasn't a 50-50. He's treated it as a 50-50. The Fulham player was always getting it, and he's stretched with his foot up, and he's caught the Fulham full studs on the leg. It's a red. It's reckless. It's not malicious. It's reckless. It's a red card. Mark, I just love you, mate. Always a good laugh. Says super duper. Thanks, pal. Do you know when United's tour will be official? Says Shahin. They don't normally announce it until like April or May, to be honest. But it isn't. It is in America. It's all right. I've had the door to my office open, and people have just come in, and they're like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I've got the door open. Deal with it." I think this would be a very good point for Chelsea now if they can get it. I mean, Fulham have got to be favourites to get all 3 points, and if they did, they'd go 6 points clear of Chelsea. I mean, Fulham. What's the state of the league table, people? Because the state of the league table would be this: if Fulham were to get a win tonight, they would actually stay in 6th. No, yeah, they would still stay in 6th. They'd have 31 points, which is sensational. Let's not say it. Any movie suggestions, says Lewis? Glass Onion was very good. I watched that over Christmas. Very, very good. I enjoyed Glass Onion. What else have I watched recently? I mean, I've got loads of films I can recommend to you. Loads. Watch Heat, Pulp Fiction, classics. Couple of subs for Fulham. You feel they're going to go for it? Mark, when you go to the USA, why don't you do a watch-along with Trump? Says Zane. And seeing a few Man United games, I can say United might have a great chance of getting the Champions League and hopefully win the Europa League, says Flynn. There is absolutely no way Chelsea are getting top 4. No way. It's just not going to happen. You can tell that they are completely and utterly not, the play. Bad luck attracts you like a magnet. And Chelsea at the moment have got so many things going against them that they're absorbing and attracting bad luck as well. The players are a little bit more desperate. They're not composed. That leads to penalties. That leads to missing chances. That leads to deflections. They're just not confident. This Chelsea look is mad. If Graham Potter walks under a ladder tomorrow, he might actually just explode on the spot, says Luke Jones. And Mark Goldbridge, what's more frustrating, front post glitch or conceding straight from the kickoff, says DJ. I haven't had many for straight from the kickoff this season, but front post glitch. Mark, after 9 years of struggles, I realised all football fans hate Man United. I don't feel bad for anyone, says Sully. I'll tell you what film I really did like. It's a bit out there, but I like Stephen Graham. Boiling Point. I think it's on Amazon Prime. It's basically about a chef, but it's really good, and it's quite short, and it was basically filmed all in one shot. So imagine the film's like 90 minutes long. It's one take. I mean, how you do that, I don't know. That's not why the film's good, but it was done in one take. Unbelievable. So basically, it's a bit like what I do every couple of days with a watch-along. It's just done in one take. But obviously, it's not a film, what I'm doing. It's amazing. What players on this pitch would you take at United, Mark, says Swift? Well, one of them's been sent off. I'd take Felix every day of the week. I mean, I'd take a lot of Chelsea players right now because I think Man United's problem is depth. You know, we need options. I'd take Mason Mount. I'd take Kovacic. You know, that you might not think they're playing particularly well, but they would be better options than, you know, who's Bruno's backup? I'd definitely take Mason Mount. Kovacic, I think, would be a brilliant player to play alongside Casemiro. So I'd take those two straight away. I mean, I wouldn't really take anybody else if I'm honest. I mean, I'd take Thiago Silva I'd take Thiago Silva and Koulibaly as backups to Martinez and Varane. Of course I would. But yeah, United's problem at the moment is not we need a superstar player. We need depth. So I'd probably take 3 or 4 Chelsea players, to be fair. I love Kovacic, Mezzeri. I love him. I think I've always liked Kovacic. If you've watched this channel for a time, you'd know that. I don't think they're performing to their level by any means, but I do like him, and I do like Mount. And again, I don't think Mount's been performing well this season. I don't know what that's all about. You know, I know people who are, you know, good mates with Mason Mount. Well, I say good mates. You know, they know him, and he's a good lad. He loves Chelsea. You know, he's not having a great season, is he? I blame Southgate. I blame Southgate in the World Cup ball. How did Felix get sent off, says Ronan, my friend. Yeah, he just overstretched for a ball he shouldn't have done and caught him with his studs. It was a red card. It wasn't malicious. It was reckless. And nobody can argue about it. It was such a shame because for the game, he was the bright spark. And every part of me wanted to say that's not a red, but I'm not going to be a hypocrite. It was a red card. Oh, good play by Fulham. Just a bit unlucky there. But look, the onus is on Fulham here. This is, I don't know whether you know the geography of London, but there is a very rich area of London, and Fulham and Chelsea are in it. This is not the North London derby, which is on Sunday and is more a bigger game. This is the posh London derby, Fulham against Chelsea. So Fulham are at home. They've got 20 minutes against their rivals who've got 10 men. They've got to go through it. Bruce or Pallister, says Frentas. Pallister for me. And Jack says, do you like Budweiser? What American beers do you like? Says Jack. I lived in Ireland for 3 years and I used to drink Budweiser on tap. That doesn't mean it was on tap in my house. You know, I wake up in the morning and brush my teeth with it. I'm not an alcoholic, but you know, on tap for me means on, you know, when you walk in a pub, those pull down things. So yeah, I used to drink Budweiser for years. It's not the best lager. It's quite watery, really. So I don't really drink it very often. But Coors Light's the same. I think a lot of lagers, a lot of American lagers, I'll drink them. They're nice, but they're a little bit. They're light. That's how you decide. That's how I'd say. So I'll tell you what I do like. I like Red Stripe. I think that's American. Red Stripe's a nice pint. Mad for it. Red Stripe. Gallagher. Thomas says, I hope you come to San Francisco. I work for a non-profit goal. Kepa is a bloody nightmare, isn't he? Kepa is absolutely crap. He is rubbish. He's cost Chelsea 6 points in the last 2 games. Fucking Dracula. I mean, I don't know what to say, Chelsea fans. This is such a simple cross for the keeper to come and get. He's useless. He's cost you the Man City game, and now he's going to cost you the Fulham game. Okay, now. I've been in this position as a Man United fan. We've had it with Van Gaal, we've had it with Mourinho, we've had it with Ollie, and it's so easy to get to a point where you go, the manager's got to go. But I'm telling you now, as an outsider, you've got players on that pitch who are an absolute disgrace to your shirt. Kepa is shit. He's cost you 6 points in the last 2 games, and Havertz is shit as well. Unbelievable. You know, you're down to 10 men. You've got 20 minutes to hold out, and you don't. He doesn't want to come. But I was talking to Ben Foster about this last week. He's not brave. He will not commit on a cross, and it puts you in all sorts of trouble. I hope you come to San Francisco, says Thomas. I work for a non-profit soccer organisation called Street Soccer USA. We have miniature turf pitches in many cities, and I'm in North California. That looks good to me, Thomas. I'm up for that. And Jack says, I've played the game. Got sent off in his Rangers debut. Will João Felix be an awful pundit in the future now? Says Jack. Talking about Sooners. Yeah, I do genuinely worry about Potter. I don't think he should get the sack, but these players are a bloody disgrace for Chelsea, and time again you see it. You see it. Players just downing tools. I can't believe. I mean, I will say this. Why is Kai Havertz on the pitch? That's down to the manager. Why have you not took him off? Because he is shit, mate. He ain't giving you anything. You know, he's not. You're down to 10 men. He's not doing anything. Red Stripe beers from Jamaica, Mark, says Eric. Oh, I didn't know that. There you go. Well, there you go. It's not an American beer. Of course it's from... Oh, God. 2 + 2 is 4. That makes so much sense now. I always thought Red Stripe was an American beer, but I actually had some pints of it just before Christmas in Turtle Bay. And Turtle Bay is Jamaican food. So, makes sense. 2 + 2 is 4. 2 + 2 is Matic. Yeah, that makes sense, yeah. Seb was trying to tell me how good he is at maths today. He was saying, look how good I am at maths. 1 + 100 - 100 + 9 = 10. He was well happy with himself. I didn't want to tell him that it was actually... You're just trying to be clever there by doing something and then subtracting it straight away. So I did one. I said, well, watch this. 1 + 1,000,000 - 1,000,000 + 2 + 7 is 10. Beat that. I felt quite good about it. Would you go for Osman or Enzo in the summer for Manchester United? Says Dej. I want them both. I want them both, really. Or I want a top class striker and a top class midfielder, and I want a centre back. I don't want another year of Maguire and Lindelof. Chelsea fans, talk to me. Talk to me, Chelsea fans. I mean, look, it's not my club. It's not my job to defend your manager. I've got my own problems. I've got my own club. Get me on, says Joshua Bowater. All I can say is I don't watch loads of Chelsea. I can observe it and say, he's had no pre-season. You've got loads of injuries. He's had no transfer window. It would be ridiculous to bring a manager in and then sack him. But I'm also experienced enough in watching football over the years to know that when you lose the players, there's no point in carrying on anyway. Now, has he lost the players? He shouldn't have, but if he's lost the players, it's not going to end well. I'm not a Chelsea fan, but plain to see the writings on the wall for Potter, says the SP. Well, I hope it's not. I like Potter, but I mean, you can't You can't account for that amount of incompetence. I mean, Felix gets sent off in his debut when he's the best player. Zakaria gets injured when he's your best midfielder. Kepa is terrified of crosses for the second game in a row and crosses you a goal again. I mean, that's not management. That's a shit goalkeeper, and your other goalkeeper's injured, so it's not like you can drop him. The goalkeeper's a liability. Havertz is a liability, and he's got no other striker. Zakaria gets injured at 1-1 when you're playing well, and Felix gets sent off at 1-1 when you're playing well. I mean, sometimes the world's against you, and it's looking tough for him. I really hope they stick with him, because I think there will be a brighter future. But patience in football. I'll tell you this. If they stick with Potter till the summer, you'll reap the benefits next season. But whether he'll make the summer, I don't know. And I'll say that now. If you stick with Potter till the summer, you'll be better next season. But that takes balls to do that. That takes strong management to do that. And I don't know enough about Chelsea's ownership to know whether they do it. You know, they should know when they gave Potter the job that you've got to give him until next season. Like, you've got to. The way he builds clubs, the way he's not had a transfer window, the way he's not had a pre-season, the injuries you've had, it's the most logical thing in the world to wait until next season before you do anything. Are you confident that they will do that? And I'll tell you what, anybody who wants him to get the sack, your season's not changing. You're not getting top four whether you keep Potter or not. That's not happening. You're not going to win the Champions League either. So you're not winning anything and you're not getting top four. So really, the change doesn't make any sense anyway. And who's going to come in? Pochettino. I think Pochettino's the wrong manager for Chelsea. I really do. I really don't think that's the man you want. I'm not a red, and it is the same ref who didn't send off Pickford when he went into Virgil van Dijk. Not a Liverpool fan, says Cameron. Love the City fan on today. Great idea. Would love to see it again with the team creators, says Job. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the feedback. He needs to go to a back four. Chelsea's strength is the middle of the park. Use it. He worked for him at Brighton, says Dane. Chelsea fan here. Bowley's arrogance. Think he can just throw money and steal Brighton's manager and boom, next thing you know, win the Champions League. We aren't PSG. Says Fartin Penguin. Thanks very much, mate. Look, people aren't going to thank me for saying this, but I think Chilwell and Reece James are the biggest losses in that team. If Man United lost Delo and Luke Shaw, we would be a completely different team. And that's no disrespect to Malacia and Wan-Bissaka, who you could argue are better than Chelsea's backup options. But, you know, you lose your first choice fullbacks. It's a hard thing. And Reece James is such a good player. I mean, he's so shit, Havertz. He's so shit. He's just been played in. And he lets the ball go. He's shite. Mate, he is shit. I wouldn't pick him again. He's bloody rubbish. He's just been played in one-on-one and he misses it. Didn't miss the chance. He misses the ball. Here's Cucurella. Why is he shooting on his right foot? What a prat. I mean, it'd be a miracle if Chelsea get a point here, considering they're down to 10 men. I feel like it's embarrassing the lack of drive and effort this is coming from what can be pretty amazing player like Havertz, says Edward. Yeah, that's what I mean about players downing tools. You know, are we seeing players downing tools? It's very... If you're a Chelsea player and you're playing shit, it's very easy to get in your head and go, he's a Brighton manager. That's why I'm bad. He's not a very good coach. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner, 10 minutes to go here. Fulham on the way to 6th. We are currently 5 subscribers off 874,000. So get involved with the channel. You're all very welcome. I've got a cracking video coming out for you in the morning. I think you'll really enjoy that. Watch that. I think it'll be out about 11. And 3 o'clock tomorrow, FIFA's back on here. Live streaming FIFA at 3 o'clock tomorrow. So tune in for that. brand new career mode. I miss your old studio, says Jack. You do know the old studio was a green screen? I could literally pull it down, it'll be back. It will be back anyway, don't worry. Sterling's injured, as far as I know. Well, he is. No, he is. It's not as far as I know. He is injured. My Insta story, the music's brilliant. I look quite good in that Insta story as well. Glasses and the black top in the kitchen. Bit of stubble. At Goldbridge Mark if you're on Instagram. I wasn't texting, I was watching my own Instagram story. It's quite narcissistic, really. Here he is, Havertz, bag of shit. Where's he going? Nobody knows. Cucurella. Oh, he's so rubbish. Havertz again, trying to overhead kick it. He's rubbish, God. If Chelsea lose, how long do you think Potter can avoid the sack? You get to the. I think you get to the point that if you lose to Palace on Sunday, look. Admittedly, there becomes a point where too many bad results, he will get the sack. I think I'm not going to deny that. I just think it's the bad decision if you do it. I think there's too many things that are not the manager's fault. Do, 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 do. 5 minutes for Chelsea to try and get something out of it. Can't see it. Pizza says it was never a red. I mean, I'm a big Felix fan. I think he's a really good player, but he's not joining you really until February now, is he? Because he's out for 3 games. It was a red card. It's reckless. It's silly. It's a shame. But how's the FPL team doing, Mark? Says FPL Fozzie. It's dead because I haven't looked after it. It's like, remember them things years ago? Them little electronic things that people had where you looked after an electronic dog, and if you didn't feed it, it died. That's a bit like my FPL team. I haven't looked at my FPL team since October, so it's dead. And the reason is I'm an old school FPL player, and I used to like getting up in the morning. Tamagotchi, that was it. I get up on a Saturday morning, make myself a cup of coffee, and about 10:30, I'd spend half an hour doing my FPL team. Friday night football has killed it for me. That's always the thing that happens. I miss the deadline. So, get rid of Friday night football. Who would you swap? Felix for Martial, says Jimmy. No, I would like João Felix to be at the club because United are playing 3 times a week. So if you had someone like João Felix, you could rest Bruno and play him there. You could play him in the Martial position. You could play him in Rashford or Anthony. It's options. That's why I wanted João Felix. And ultimately, if you give him a chance, he might end up playing better than one of those players, and then he starts. Hey, I tell you what though, if we've got any Fulham fans in the chat, what a result for you. I mean, you must be grinning from ear to ear. A Chelsea smile. Is that what they call it? Ooh, horrible thing that is. Don't look it up. Everything's gone Fulham's way. Both goals are mistakes. Well taken, but they're both mistakes. Keeper messes up on the cross again. Chalobah on the first one. João Felix gets sent off. Havertz is shit. Zakaria gets injured. I don't think Fulham have had to do a lot to get the 3 points here. It's almost like Chelsea have done everything they can to gift it them. Scunthorpe United are facing administration. Hope it's not another Bury situation. What effect would it have if it happened to United, Mark? Says Foxy100. Shall I buy Scunthorpe and manage you? We'll turn it into a big social media experiment. And we'll all buy Scunthorpe tops and save it. And I'll be the manager and we'll do a series and all that sort of stuff. Goldbridge saves Scunthorpe. You know, as stupid as it sounds, stupid ideas actually sometimes work. My big problem is, where's Scunthorpe? I don't know where it is. A11. Thank you very much for becoming a member. Explain this one. Need a goal and number 9 is on the bench. I don't get that, says Leo J. It's in Lincoln. No, I'm not doing it, Rachel. It's a git of a drive, Lincoln. Yeah. I mean, Lincoln's about an hour and a half from Nottingham, and I'm about an hour and a half from there. Fuck that. 3 hours. I can get to Mallorca quicker. I'd rather save Mallorca. At least it's got good weather. Fulham having a great season. They just got promoted to Shahan. Thank you, Michael Owen. Mark, do you agree that Potter has to do what Ten Hag first did? Build from the bottom with a solid defence and then work your way from there, says KD. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't... It's a lot... I've got to say this. It's a long time since I've watched a football game and felt so sorry for a manager, because the things that have changed this game are completely out of his control. João Felix, your best player, gets sent off. Zakaria is playing well, gets injured. Kepa's the only goalkeeper you can pick, and he's cost you 3 points again for the second game in a week. And Havertz is the only real striker you've got, and he's a bag of shit as well. So it's like, it's not really got... And the first goal for Fulham is a mistake as well from Chalobah. So it's just a catalogue of errors. Chelsea, sponsored by Argos, because it's a catalogue of errors. And as a manager, you can't train that on a training ground. Like, you could say, well, don't pick Chalobah, don't pick Havertz, but he hasn't really got a lot of choice with Kepa. Dracula in goal. Oh, he's caught a cross. Give him a contract. He's a coward on crosses, Kepa. I'll tell you, any goalkeeper will tell you that. He's a coward on crosses. And it's costing Chelsea. Here's Havertz. He'll be offside anyway. That wasn't a bad shot. What do I think the future is for Potter? I think it's bleak. I think it is bleak. I would not sack him. I would not sack him. If I was in charge, I'd get a big pair of shoulders and I'd take the weight, because I wouldn't sack him. I would actually take the bull by the horns, and I'd make a public statement if I was Todd Bowley, and I would say, we are sticking with this manager and I am taking responsibility. I picked him, and I picked him because I believe he's the right man for Chelsea. He has not had a transfer window. He has not had a pre-season. The injuries have been ridiculous. There's a lot of things going on at this club, and I'm sticking with this manager until the summer, and that's just the way it's going to be. And I would tell the players that as well, because I really do detect these players are starting to use the uncertainty around the manager as an excuse, and ownership needs to make a decision. You either sack the manager and let the players win, or you make a statement and make the players realise that they need to book their ideas up, because nothing's changing in the short term. If these players have got a hint that there's going to be a sacking, they'll just keep playing like that. So, but look, football doesn't work like that. I think it's more likely that they'll take the easy option and they'll sack him. Because some of them players ain't playing for that shirt. They're not. I'm sorry, they're not. Ajit says Chelsea fans singing Tuchel's name. That amazes me. That absolutely amazes me, because that would be like Man United fans singing Mourinho's name when Oli was bad. But we were educated and knew that Mourinho lost the dressing room and fell out with the board and needed to be sacked. Exactly the same thing happened at Chelsea. Tuchel fell out with the board, lost the dressing room and had bad results. But there seems to be these Chelsea fans who think Tuchel would come back happily and the board would bring him back and the players would bring him back. He fell out with the players, he fell out with the board, and the results were crap. You can sing his name, but the sacking was right. You know, it's odd. But there are Chelsea fans out there who think, oh, we shouldn't have got rid of Tuchel. It's like, it's your club. You should know these things. You should know about your club. You should know what was going on. It had to be a new chapter. Now, maybe they got the wrong replacement, but you've got to move on. Mark, Man United's ability to buy players and progress relies on Champions League qualification, and the Glazers don't want to spend. It's crazy stuff, says KD. What did I think about Jari Litmanen, says Axel? Well, I liked that Ajax team. It was good. Can I just say as well, please do subscribe to the channel, bottom right-hand corner. It's been an enjoyable match tonight. Not for Chelsea fans, but I've enjoyed the chat. And, oh, Kepa's come for a cross. Too bloody late, you prat. This weekend is a big weekend. I'm live on the United stand at midday on Saturday for the Manchester derby. I'm then live on TalkSport with the Mark Goldbridge show, national radio, 7:30 till 9 o'clock. You can call in or you can watch it on YouTube. We'll be talking about the weekends or the Saturday games, the Manchester derby. And then on Sunday, I'm live on this channel again at 4:30 for Tottenham against Arsenal in the North London derby. So lots to get involved in, and make sure you subscribe and get involved. Big weekend of football coming up. Midweek next week, I don't think anything's going on. Man United are playing Crystal Palace, but that'll be on the United stand. Oh no, Man City are playing Tottenham next Thursday, so we'll be live again here. Games are all over the place at the moment, aren't they? So Man City are playing Tottenham next Thursday, so we'll be live for that on here a week tonight. A week on Saturday, it's Liverpool-Chelsea at 12:30. We'll be live for that. Arsenal-Man United on the Sunday. Bloody hell. It's all going on. It's all going on. But it's problems for Chelsea. Well, he's going to blow, isn't he? He's going to blow here. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Potter's fondness for Kepa is baffling. He plays exactly like he should. A goalkeeper who missed several seasons of football. There's no alternative. SP Freely Mendy's injured. I don't think they have another goalkeeper they could play, as far as I'm aware. And Michelle says that he fell out with Bowley because he was clueless about football matters, Tuchel. Why did he fall out with the players then? Because he did. Chelsea worse than Man United last year, says Beck. And that's the final whistle. Fulham have beaten Chelsea 2-1. Chelsea's crisis continues. Fulham take the points. And Potter must be devastated. Devastated. I'm going to do a quick match reaction to this, actually, because it's quite a significant result. And I want to just get a few things out. So I'll end the stream now. I'll have a match reaction up for you in the next few minutes. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Take care. And I will be live on here at 3 o'clock. If you want to watch my brand new Man United FIFA career mode, it's back tomorrow on this channel at 3 o'clock. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Big weekend coming.